Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today is League Start Day. Today, Path of Exile 319, the Lake of Kalandra League will go live in round about, I think, 4.5 hours. So I want to take this video as an opportunity to talk about my finalized League Start ideas, talking about how I'm going to approach the leveling aspect, how everything hopefully is going to turn out. Talk about the build progression, the plans for the build, as well as like my early league strategy, as well as talking a little bit about my diary, my League Start diary that I do since a couple of leagues. And yeah, so I would say, first of all, let's start with the build. So the build that I picked as my League Starter is actually going to stay as the pretty much Archmage, Mind Over Matter, Agnostic archetype with Mind of the Council and so on. So there is a bunch of issues actually with that. First of all, I have no idea how good mana stacking builds are going to be. They are so off meta, and like with the nerfs of like Archmage and this nerf and a little bit of a Mind Over Matter buff on the Keystone but nerf on the other items, like it's going to be questionable how it turns out. But there is something in me, okay? So the thing is, like, if you ask me, like, yo, MBX, what are the first 5 builds that come into your mind what you would like to play in the upcoming league? Like, it's Archmage Stonebrand, you know? It's maybe like Stonebrand Poison with this one gloves that actually lets your lightning damage can poison. It is Burning Arrow Raider Mind Over Matter Agnostic. It would be Hexblast Ignite as an Archmage version with Mind Over Matter Agnostic. It could be a Lightning Strike Poison Raider with the Pneumatic Dagger, with stacking mana with the Mind of the Council to get the base lightning damage. So it doesn't matter. Every build, or at least like 9 out of 10 builds that I'm currently thinking of that I would like to play, are all the same archetype. So that's why I feel safe on saying I want to play this. Okay, so the issue is, like, what if it totally sucks? What if this archetype totally sucks ass and it doesn't matter which kind of like version I'm going to pick, which I personally prefer to play, or the strongest version of it? It might just all be like complete dog shit, and I have to reroll, and after realizing that this is not leading somewhere. But I have high hopes. Where's the copium? I need all the copium in reclassed. But as I said, I'm motivated, I'm hyped about the build, and that's why I'm going for it. Which lets me go to the way I want to build it, you know, with the Font of Thunder, with the Mind of the Council, with like maybe the new revamped, the Lightning Coil, with all the conversion thingies. That's not League Start stuff, okay? This is not League Start stuff, and that's like one issue here. So I need to like play a complete, like, different approach to the build until I farmed enough currency to get the build that I want to play to get going. And that's why I already said in the build guide video that I uploaded a couple days ago, this is more like of a second or third build of the league, but it is League Start. Everybody's hyped. I'm like super hyped to pump, to actually grind shit out, you know, grind currency, progress through the Atlas. I'm just super hyped, and that's why I don't really care having like a super awkward League Starter, okay? And this is the next point. Super awkward League Start, what does that mean? So, for example, if I'm gonna open like here my PUB, so as a small disclaimer here, I'm gonna start with the typical Archmage Mind Over Matter Agnostic Stonebrand Raider that I've played last league, okay? This is not the build that I plan to play, but it makes the most sense because it doesn't rely on like a shit ton of like unique items that I'm most likely not gonna have access to, okay? This is like, it's literally just mana stacking. This is like all the standard archetype. Then you throw in a Stonebrand with Archmage to have a decent amount of damage. And this will actually get me through the maps until I can, or will be able to get enough currency, to accumulate enough currency to revamp the build on the version with like maybe cast on crit version with Lightning Conduit and all the stuff that I talked about in the last video. Because if I open PUB here, where is the main issue here? So if I say Stonebrand Raider, obviously the things that give us damage is the Runebinder Keystone, which lets me have 2 brands on the target. And realistically, when will this happen as me as playing a Raider? Probably it's somewhere level 40 or something, right? So I would say probably as the early leveling tree, taking some life notes here, right? Maybe some evasion rating, or just go this route straight away, doesn't really matter. Then probably some life notes. I'm not sure if I should take mana nodes early on because it doesn't make too much sense. So I would probably just go up here, take some resistances just to get me res kept early on, right? Then we're gonna go over here, up here, up here. Then we actually could pick Mind of Matter here. Then we go up here, probably Alley Overload, and then down to Runebinder. We're skipping jewel slots, we're skipping like pretty much everything that is unnecessarily, and this would already be level 33. And so the first problem is my Stormbrand until level 33 will only deal half of the damage or not double the damage based on the Runebinder keystone, right? And this is the next thing. Where is our damage nodes? As you see here, we only have travel nodes, just dexterity, strength, a bit of resistance, some life. I don't have any damage nodes whatsoever. So not only not gonna we have any damage nodes, but we also deal like half of our potential damage. And with not having enough mana, since we don't stack into mana yet, we don't even have the damage output either. So you understand probably now that League starting as a raider in terms of like mana stacking is a terrible idea. It's probably better if you just level as anything else and then accumulate some currency and then buy regrets and maybe spec into a certain different route, because in the next hand I also want to have agnostic, so that's actually the next thing, because agnostic, mind over matter, Runebinder, and stuff, it's kind of a terrible. But as I say again, I don't care, okay? I don't mind if I take 15 hours until I get to maps, just because my early leveling is completely dog shit and I'm not gonna have any damage. It's fine for me. I'm hyped. Like, the thing is, like, if people follow my league starts through the previous leagues, they know that my league starters are very questionable, right? But I'm not a racer. I don't need to be the first one at maps. I don't need to be the first one killing an Uber boss. It's about the journey. It's about having fun. And if this build motivates me to a certain level, which it actually does, then I'm just going to eat it up and go through it, right? Yeah, I might be slow, but I don't care, because I see where the way leads, okay? And this is where all the motivation comes from. I want to just play this build, right? So I'm going to suffer here. I'm going to just play Stormbrand and just go for it. And then at a certain level, once we like got some currency, we're going to try making the build stronger and stronger, so we're not going to run in any issues while progressing the Atlas. And then on a certain extent, we're gonna convert into the build that I want to actually play as a preparation, because I don't want to re-level a character that early on. I don't want to spend too much time, like, I don't want to farm 200 regrets to actually reset my character tree, so I'm just gonna level as I plan the build. Good, that's about this thing. Next thing is, what about the Atlas farming strategy? So I don't really see a point of making like a min-max farming strategy that early on, because my personal goal is always in the first week of the league, in the first 7 days, I want to clear the entire Atlas, okay? That means I want to have the full Atlas completion. I want to get my Void Stones. I want to like get to a point where I would say, yo, my Atlas is done. All the maps are tier 16. I've got everything, and now I can take a look into, am I going to Legion farm? Am I going to, I don't know, Breach farm, Heist farm, whatever farming that I'm interested at that point, you know? For me, it's not about what is the most efficient way to make currency. For me, it's more about what am I up to? What is actually motivating me? Because once you're motivated to do something, it will not feel as bad. For example, I know Simulacrum farming is insanely profitable, right? But farming Simulacrums is rather boring, so do I want to do it? I mean, it's easy currency, but oh man, I think I'm just gonna like kill 500 Uber bosses instead, because I'm like looking forward to that one, right? So it's all about the motivation and the personal background, that you say like, yo, I want to farm this because I think it's fun, and you're gonna make currency regardless, okay? Just to keep that in mind. Atlas passive tree early on, I think, let me see, Atlas passive tree, PoE. Let me see if I can find something that, yeah, so let's take this one as a solo standalone. What do I look for early on, right? I think I'm just gonna juice up my maps in terms of just additional stuff. So I'm probably gonna just straight up walk over here and then take, for example, some strong boxes, because it doesn't hurt me, you know, it's just like additional packs and whatnot. Essences could be terrifying, but I'm still gonna try to go for it. Then here's some extra rarity and whatnot. So it's not really a rocket science over here, right? Additional shrines could be something that we can take into account. I just don't want to like force myself into league mechanics. I really want to just go in, kill a bunch of monsters, get out, get my Atlas completion bonus, and start progressing the Atlas. And therefore, I also want to take everything that has to do with Kirak missions, everything that has a chance to reward me with extra map sustain. For example, here, shaping the valleys. Then we have like shaping the seas. Then I think there is 2 more somewhere on the right and the left side that also has like, let me see. Wait, I cannot click on that. There's a search button. Search for maps. There is a couple. I think it was like somewhere here. Should have be a little bit better prepared. But there is like 2 nodes that give you additional map sustain, and then probably just go over here. You know, have like here some more strongbox nodes. Then maybe over here, like Harbingers, I don't think is too good, but it's still gonna be like essences, map sustain, strong boxes, shrines, like all these kind of things, right? But this is just for the early progression, okay? And it really bothers me that I cannot find this like additional map sustain thingies. Oh, here it was, yeah. So going down here, we have like the shaping the mountains, as well as on the other side we have the shaping the skies, okay? So everything, extra maps, Kirak missions, all the league mechanics that I maybe not want to play, we can actually just figure out over here. For example, Domain, Legion is fine, you know, Sacred Grove, yeah, probably with a new revamped Harvest. Expedition, I'm not like the biggest fan of Expedition, so I'm probably gonna block this. I'm probably gonna block Abyss. I'm probably gonna block anything else that I personally don't want to play, okay? It's, as I say again, it's not about what gives the potentially highest currency income overall in the game. I'm being like completely egoistic over here and say like asking myself, what do I want to play? Hey, I'm totally feeling like blowing up some legions. Let's go for legion farming. Like it totally doesn't matter what you're farming as long as you are farming. Good. So that's about the Atlas passive tree. That's about talking about my awkward leveling situation over here. That's why I also say I do not recommend picking this as a league starter, right? And if you're still interested in how the journey goes, I'm going to make a league start diary. That means from now on, today's league start or tonight's league start means tomorrow you get the first update on how the journey went for now. How does it look like? Is it that bad as I expected to be? And you know, just going from there, every single day, I want to give you guys an update with some clips, highlight clips from the stream about the big drops that we have. Maybe we crafted something, maybe we found something, you know, my divine orb count, or, you know, all these kind of things, until we get to the point where I say like, boys, my Atlas is clear, I achieved what I wanted for my league start, and then we go from there, like finalizing the build, making farming currency strategies. But this is something up on the future and ready to be revealed. And when it comes to like, have you finally made an final build that you wanted to play with like custom crit, lightning conduit, all these kind of things? And the answer is no. First of all, there is still no update on PUB, sadly, so I still cannot like put in overcharge and put in lightning conduit and all these kind of things. But for me personally, it doesn't matter too much, because I could also make a PUB for an immense aura stacker with like 10 mirrors investment as a preparation for my league start. Is it, you know, there is just no point. It's so far away and so off that I will figure things out as I go, right? So I know I'm gonna do the Stormbrand Archmage Raider as my starter, and then, you know, in like 3-4 days, when I'm like, oh shit, I can now afford this and that item, and then I'm gonna spend like 1 or 2 hours in PUB and trying to finalize the version that I plan to do, and then just playing around with the settings. I mean, the thing is, like, I'm making so many builds every single league, so I know this is not really the issue. I don't need to be prepared to a certain extent that I say everything has been mathematically proven that this build sucks, because there are builds that look good in PUB but are terrible in-game. I cannot even say if Lightning Conduit is actually going to be amazing, right? I'm definitely looking forward to trying it out and making like an automated style of Lightning Conduit. But you know, it could be the undisputed best skill in the entire game. If it feels clunky to play, I'm not going to play it, you know? But yeah, I think that's should state quite well what my plans are. In 4 hours, 24 minutes, we're heading into the league, and I'm gonna start streaming at around 8 or like the league starts at like 10 p.m. right? Yeah, it's 10 p.m. for me, my time. So probably like 1 hour like 1 hour prior, I think is the right word here. I'm gonna start live streaming so we can talk about a little bit about the stuff, things that going on here, and then we're gonna go into the league and have a lot of fun. And I wish everybody a wonderful league start and all the best of luck with all the drops. And maybe this time it is finally time to freaking find my first Mirror of Calandra. I mean, I know I said it since the last 10 leagues in a row that this is the league, you know, this is the league. But this is the league, trust me. I'm gonna fucking find a Mirror of Calandra this league. It has to happen, okay? Alright, boys and girls, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.